The same couches, the same shelves, the same squiggly lamp are everywhere. You can't get away from them. It's all starting to look mundane, a little too polished, a little too empty, a little too served up to you on an algorithm platter. But what if you want your home to feel like you? These are 7 real tips for finding your unique personal style, implementing it in your home, and creating that wonderful kooky space that you light up in. So, let's do it. Taste is starting to look like compliance. Compliance with the goods being distributed to us, available to us online, and our consumption. It's easy to confuse taste with trend fluency. And all of a sudden, homes everywhere are starting to look exactly the same. So if you want to stick it to the man, you need to develop real style. It's a little weirder, a lot more personal, and maybe a little more tender too. It lives in what you actually find beautiful, which leads me to tip number 1. Go inward. Track what you've always loved. Now, you can pull out your notes app, you can jot this down if you're feeling analog, which more and more these days I am. But the tip here is to pick 5 beautiful things. If you're feeling like, whoa, that's a lot of homework, pick 3. It could be your favorite diner booth or your favorite restaurants from when you were 7 or 17. Just pick 5 things that come to mind as beautiful for you. For me, those might include things like my grandma had this tea pitcher called we called it the pregnant pitcher. I'll put a picture here. I'm sure it's not going to do it justice, but there's something about the curves that they just felt so sweet. It's lemonade in a glass jar with light streaming through, and tomatoes strewn across a counter in the height of summer, or the way that golden light hits the grass in the summertime, and maybe a full, heady herb garden. Those are 5 beautiful, kind of nostalgic images that come to mind for me. These are clues and your compass to finding the style that is perfect for you. How do we take these breadcrumbs and bridge them from these abstract beauty cues into something workable? Stick with me. Now's the time to analyze those for the feeling that they evoke. And this is really going to be the emotional palette, so to speak, for the design of the space you want to set up. So for example, for me with the iced tea, it might be delight, warmth, earthiness, glow. Those are all like adjectives and feelings that come to mind. For the tomatoes on the counter, it might be nourishment, ripeness, abundance. Here's where the magic happens in tip number 2. This is where we translate those feelings that we got from tip number 1.5, and turn them into design cues. These are going to be our breadcrumbs that lead us all the way to the witch's house. With the iced tea the sun tea that my mom used to make, and the glow and the feeling of earthiness, we're translating that into how would that look in a home? How would those feelings show up in a house? That sun tea, sweet iced tea vibe as individual items. They're stunning. The glow of the candles almost completely matches the sun tea. Anywhere you would introduce amber or brown glass would probably work. The stone ceramic glaze has just the right color. Everything here is really just meant to capture that lightness, the light shining through the tea, which is really what brings about the whole feeling of warmth and earthiness and contentment that we're trying to evoke. But don't get sidelined just into the brown. We want to make sure that we bring in some yellows too, because that is also part of the light and the experience. So you can do it with individual items here and there, just something to remind you of this like really precious moment in time that you love. Or you can make a whole room or home designed around this idea. I love the juxtaposition of the light wood and dark wood. Those images bring together the whole idea. You'll notice in pretty much each of these photos that the lighting is really important. We're using the emotional indicator as a bridge between the things that you love into your design taste. And that, you guys, that's the key. Emotional indicators. The tomatoes on the kitchen counter moment, that's color and a little bit of chaos. Maybe that's telling me that my style isn't minimalist, which, God bless, but alas, I know. I know. It's more generous and earthy and sensory. So that gives me permission to lean into more vibrant color. So again, as a reminder, this is less about copying a scene. We don't want to just make lemonade and put it in the window to catch the sunlight. Or we do. That sounds lovely, actually. It's more about catching the feeling of it and then building your home around that feeling. Your notes list isn't a shopping list. It's a compass to guide you in the direction that feels beautiful and interesting. Okay, now that we've done some thinking about the emotions we want to evoke in a space, maybe some textures or colors that can bring those emotions to life, now we're going to move on to actually designing for your daily rhythms. Because all of these things have to work in conjunction with one another. So, tip number 3. Design for your daily rhythms. What a shocker. This is where you're going to think about what you actually do in a space. So let's say you're looking at your living room, your bedroom, whatever. Pick a space that you're wanting to reconsider. Think about what you actually do in there, not what you wish you did. If you leave clothes on that chair in your bedroom, maybe that's an indicator that you need a coat rack there or something to hang those clothes on. Alternatively, it could just mean that that's what that chair is for. That chair is for clothes. It's not for sitting. And that's okay too. We all need a clothes pile spot in our lives. This is about working with your life, not against it. Notice where the drop zones are and design around them. So if you discover that all the shoes pile up in one spot, honey, that's just where the shoes live. Now we can make that area better, but we're probably not going to be changing the patterns of you and everybody in the house. If you're redesigning an entire bedroom, like I said, if you know you need that spot where you throw all of your clothes, put the spot in there. Design it in, because otherwise they're going to be on the floor. You're going to be disappointed in yourself. And that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to avoid being disappointed in ourselves. So design it in so you're not upset when you put that beautiful chair in. It's not getting used for a chair and is instead getting used for clothes. If you build it in, if you design it in that way with a little forethought, we can all avoid the personal disappointment. Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe that's a me problem. Okay, these daily rhythms are part of your personal style. Day-to-day activities define you as a person, and you need space to do those things. So if you're not making room for the activities in your life, then you're shutting a part of you away. So to really embrace your personal style, design a space for what you actually do in that space. All right, on to the next tip, which is let your environment speak. For me, what does that look like? Look out these windows, lots of green. I call it the Great Green Wall. Just a wall of trees. That means that like I probably don't want to put a lot of green in the house. It's going to be competing with what's outside. It does mean that I want to play up the window dressings, which has not been done yet. Don't judge. It's on the to-do list. It does mean that what I bring inside needs to balance out and complement what we see outside. And that works for pretty much every environment out there. More practically, what that means, I don't want too much green, and because the winters mean that all of this is barren and woodsy, it can also mean that I have to bring in some softness inside to soften up the overall space, or else you look out the window and you see hard, and then you look inside, and if it's hard flooring and it's a hard ceiling, which there's wood on the ceiling you can't quite see, that means that I have to bring in the blankets and the rugs and everything else to soften up the space inside, so that when your eye looks outside and sees hard, and it looks inside, it sees a nice contrast between textures, which contrast, baby, that's where it all lives. Our brains love it. And when you're thinking of design, the tip here is don't forget to look outside. This one we're just gonna call mimicry. It's okay to copy another space. If you do end up trolling Instagram, if you do end up trolling Pinterest, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I am saying a lot of times those put you in a box, and the algorithms are really hard to get out of. But I am saying if you see something you love, copy it. It takes a lot of guesswork out, right? That's okay. It's okay to copy. But the biggie here is to interpret. Maybe try not to purchase the entire Amazon list of it. I know that's an easy way to go, but it's not a way to develop personal style. And it's probably in a year or two going to feel outdated and not like you. I would suggest pulling elements that you love. Okay, so I'm looking at this room and I like how it feels. What do I like about it? Okay, well there's 4 things on this Amazon list. I could purchase all of them, make my house look like that too. And maybe you buy one of them. Maybe you buy one because it's easy. Make it easy, girl. Like, life is hard enough. Let's make design easy if we can. Go and find a version of it for yourself. That could look like looking on Marketplace. It could, do people even use Craigslist anymore? Flea markets. The list is never ending of places to find things, but you do have to be willing to search for them. And that's where personal style really evolves. It's in the interpretation and the looking for things. It's not in the purchasing a shopping list defined for you. All right, we're getting cozy now that we're getting deep in the tip list here. I'm a thirsty girl. I've been talking enough. Tip number 6 is trust your intuition. And girl, I don't mean he's cheating on you. I sincerely hope not. I do mean gut reactions. Do I like it? Where to use your intuition for a little bit more depth in finding your personal style in your home is to go find a nook in your home, a corner, whatever, like so, like behind me, and just take a quick minute to see how it makes you feel. That's listening to your intuition. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Does it feel cluttered? Does it feel chaotic? Does it feel anything? Does it feel boring? And then line it back up with tip number 1 and 2? Does it follow the feelings of the things you find beautiful and the design cues and breadcrumbs from tip number 2? If the answer is no, let's edit it. Edit, pare down, and then live with it. Give it a day, give it a week, whatever. Come back around to your corner and try it again. Do you feel better, worse? Does it feel more in line with the design cue breadcrumbs that we were following before? Okay. Yes? Wonderful. That space is done for now until you feel differently about it. If not, then we can maybe start adding things in. Now that you have some space, that's when you go back to your design cues from tip number 2. And lastly, tip number 7. Let it cook. Let it cook. You need time to make all of this happen. If you're rushing the design process, and that doesn't even mean like trying to get something done quickly, although that frenetic energy can come out in a design. What it means is it takes time to find pieces that you really connect to and you love and are within budget. All of this stuff takes time. What you got to do is give it time. So if you know there's a space in your house that you desperately want to redo, that's fine. My timelines might drive people crazy. It drives my husband crazy, that's for sure. I take sometimes too much time, but I will say the one key I think for most people is slow it down. We're gonna demystify here real quick, which is, if you need a starting point, here's your mission. Pick 3 to 5 beautiful things that you love. Jot them down. Analyze the emotions that come with those things and then use those to build your design cues. Once you have your design cues, find a space in your house and see how it makes you feel. Is it in line with the design cues? Does it visually look like the cues that you wrote down? Does it feel like the things you find beautiful? No? Okay, edit. Take something away. If it's already sparse, put something in. And then give it some time. Sit with it for a day, a week, however long, and then do the whole thing again until it feels like you. And that's what we're all looking for. We're all just trying to be ourselves and make our homes feel homey. And if you're not, maybe you have bigger fish to fry. I don't know. I think it's a priority for all of us to have a home that feels beautiful to you. And for all of us, that's a little bit different and unique, and that's beautiful. So, let's do it. Let's build a personal style that sticks it to the man and avoids consumerism and saves the planet. I don't know. Maybe we're getting a little out of hand now, but am I wrong? Your style is already in you. You just have to unearth it. And on that note, I will see you next time.